make in marriage. So, ladies with the rings, are you ready? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, madam.
It's always a pleasure to be here because I know many people are just waiting. Oh, Harriet, is she around?
Okay.
Last week I was not around because I was an MC in my church, so I had to do the church thing first.
You literally wear many hats. You're a fashion designer. You should see. Please go to YouTube. You should see how she's dressed. She would give what's his name now? This guy in The Godfather. A run for his money.
I'm telling you.
God. So yes, many hats. Counselor.
Yes.
Fashion
designer. Yeah.
Mother.
Model.
Wife,
I'm telling you.
and
Just
also an MC now.
An MC, yes, I'm an MC. I do it very well.
I'm pretty sure there's more.
There's more.
Okay. God really bless you.
You know what? My role model is a virtuous woman in the Bible, Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh wow,
yes,
okay.
That's my role model, so I'm trying to copy.
Okay. All right, fire away.
Let's go. Okay, you see, marriage is actually a beautiful thing. Yes. Beautiful thing, especially for the women. You know, we're excited about marriage. Mm-hmm. We can't wait to get a wedding gown, and we are excited when it comes to marriage. Mm-hmm. You know, but marriage requires wisdom, intentional choices, and discipline. These three things must go along with us as women and as mothers that's ready to build a very successful home.
All right.
I said wisdom, discipline, and intentional choices. So today we are going to talk about some mistakes that you should never make as a married woman. As a woman who's trying to build a home, a perfect home, do not make these mistakes because they are very expensive and they are very costly. It might end you not actually enjoying your marriage. You will just be enjoying that marriage. A marriage is made for enjoyment and not to be endured. The first reason why God created marriage was for companionship. Children were the fallout, the blessing that came from that union, and it's not supposed to replace the actual fact that God created marriage for companionship. Mm-hmm. So you having children does not replace it. Your wife does not become a second hand. Not that your husband become a second hand. That companionship was the first reason God created marriage. Mm-hmm. So if you are in a relationship and that thing is missing, you lack that companionship, that friendship, then you are just in marriage. You are not in marriage.
Okay.
You are not enjoying marriage because most women are in marriage right now not because they are happy inside that marriage. They're just emotionally attached to that marriage because of their children, because of the comfort they find in their children. They find solace in their children. But was that why God created marriage? No, it's not because of your children alone. What about your husband? What happens? There's an emotional distance already. What's happened? When a man is high cold, a woman is talking to her husband and the man is muted and high cold. How does the woman feel? She feels devalued. It's anything that can bruise a woman's ego is when he speaks to the husband and the husband becomes silent, ice cold. You feel devalued. You're speaking to your husband, he's looking at you and he's not answering you. He walks away. You understand? But I keep telling women, it didn't start one day. Before a man withdraws from you completely, it must also be your action, your reaction, the way you communicate. That's going to be for another day. But let's talk of some of the costly mistakes that a woman should never make in marriage. And number one, particular out there, is never in your life remain in the way that your husband met you. Yes. Never. As a woman hearing the sound of my voice, I don't know where you are now, the place you are, the position you are, your status or whatever, a housewife or what, I don't know. But my advice for you, please never remain where you are. The way your husband, never remain the way your husband met you. Even when you are an undergraduate, you were going to school and it happened that the marriage, you can always get married even in university. Why not? But make sure that even if after giving birth to that child, go back to school and complete that degree. Get that degree. I know why I'm saying this as the number one. It is very, very important that marriage is not about stagnation. It's about involvement. It's about growth. And the growth cannot be one-sided. It has to be between the two persons. Like we just said this morning, I told you, my role model is the virtuous woman, the Proverbs 31 woman. She is a merchant. She is a seamstress. She's an upholsterer. She is a farmer. Just one woman. As a matter of fact, the same when the husband sits with the headers at the gate, he's being respected. Why? Because of the wife. So if there was nothing of hard work, do you understand? Then there's no need for the Bible to have referred to a virtuous woman in the Bible. Who she is, what she does. Only one woman, an upholsterer, a farmer, a seamstress. Do you understand? So to every woman hearing the sound of my voice, please, don't be static. Don't be basic. If you have to go to school, go to school. If you have to acquire more skills, acquire more skills. It is never enough Go back to school. Like me, I'm still in school with every degrees, 2 masters already. I am still going to school because this is what gives you that value and respect in your home. In spite of your husband. What of your husband's relations? What of your in-laws? You understand? They feel you are not just there eating their son's money. You have something doing. That's why I tell women, look, apart from your marital role as model, as wife, you understand, as a wife to your husband, you also have a purpose. You also have a purpose why you were created. There's something you will also need to fulfill before you leave this office of the head. God created every woman and gave them, man and woman, a purpose. Do you understand? So in spite of our marital roles, our obligations as mothers or as wives, we still have a life to live, a purpose to fulfill. So you don't shrink. Oh, because my husband said this, hey, I don't want to work, you want to sit at home. Many women are complaining bitterly right now. They're in toxic relationship, not because they are enjoying the marriage, they're enjoying that marriage, but because they look at themselves, 5 children. Where will I go to? They are physically and emotionally abused. They can see death in front of them. But where will they go to? It's like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Where do you go to? I have 5 children. They say, can a woman forget a suckling child? It's very difficult for a woman to forget a suckling child. Do you understand? That is how their emotional attachment mothers have with their children. Okay, if I take these 5 children along with me, even though I see death, how can I take care of these children? How can I fend for them? Because you actually were not doing anything. You sat down, you're not doing anything, the man was bringing anything. Nobody knows who goes first. I tell women, do not sit, do not remain in the way your husband met you. Because nobody knows who goes first. Nobody's praying for death. But one person will have to leave someday. Do not sit at home. So the worst mistake you can ever make as a woman is not to grow. Somebody told me a story. This is a real story. A woman was going to school. You understand? She's an adult already. She's married and she's going to school. Okay. But all of a sudden, the husband, there was a downsizing in the company, and the husband was affected. Yeah. And because of one certificate that the husband did not have, so the husband had called the wife that, look, things are like this now. What do we do? So the wife now said, okay, don't worry. You have to go back to school. Don't worry. With the little business I'm doing, I can help you. Go back to school and get this degree. Yeah. So that you get a better work, and we also live this life of poverty and everything. That's a virtuous woman, a good woman who is ready to assist. You understand? That is what Harriet Ojegba will also do. You know, as every good woman, you know, the man say, okay, started going to school. But meanwhile, the school that this woman was going to before, because she looked at the financial implications, she said, no, okay, let me drop out and let me support my husband. Okay. He supported the man. The man had got the job, very good job at that matter. But what happened? The man, all of a sudden, when money started flowing in. That's why I tell women, you will never know a man until he has wealth. If a man has wealth and is still humble, it takes the grace of God. And is still humble, it takes the grace of God. I know what I'm talking about. You know. So the woman said he notices that the man comes now 11, 12, at times 1 o'clock in the night. You talk to him, he's very rude, aggressive. You know, the woman said, look, I've never seen my husband this way. This man that comes early, assists me, even domestically and every other thing. What has changed? Is it this money that you have? What is it? Issue started arising. So now, to cut the long story short, they have end of year parties in their offices and everything. So the wife and the children will normally go. I took that I accompany my husband, will go for the end of year party and all that. So the woman was preparing because she knows that the husband said there's an end of year party. And do you know what the man told the woman? That you are not going with me. Oh no. Why will you go with me? He said, because you don't befit my status right now. Yes. You can't even speak one good English, good sentences. So my colleagues will come and ask. You cannot even make one good sentence. You are not going with me. The woman almost died. And he came to us, a counselor. What do we do? I said, the mistake you did was like, you are a good woman. Everything you've done is perfect. But you shouldn't have also dropped out. I know the financial implication is much on you. You would have even reduced it. Maybe go to a roadside school that you can pay lesser. You understand? There's adult education that you pay very cheap and lesser. So as your husband is also going to school, you are also growing alongside. You don't leave yourself. Do you understand? That's where the issues started. And I told her, look, this is a challenge and it's a battle. Your husband told you this. Don't worry. Women must grow emotional resilience. You don't leave the marriage. You will stay in that marriage. But you will prove a point. I told her, go back to school. It's not too late. You still have money to take care of it. He said, yes, that money I was using, I still keep some. I have. I said, yeah, go back to school and go and read. The woman went, came back, had a degree today. What happened? The man right now is coming to apologize to the woman. Do you understand? It's a challenge. It is a challenge. So every woman hearing the sound of my voice, yes, we have to assist when we need to assist. but don't neglect yourself. You are very, very important. So
Right.
that is the number one of it.
Number one, yeah.
Never remain where you are. Never remain the way you are. When your husband met you, you grow, you evolve. That is marriage. It's about growth. As he is growing, you too, you are growing. It's very important. Your respect, your dignity, everything will be at stake if you do not do that.
Alright.
Life, the only thing that is permanent in life is change. People change.
Indeed.
People can change. So take note of that. So let's move to the number 2. The number 2 is never forget your first love.
I hope the first love is Jesus Christ too.
Of course. How do you know where I'm going
That's
to?
very scary. All right.
How do you know where I'm going to? Never forget your first love, which is God Almighty and His beloved Son Jesus Christ. Never forget them. Because if you forget them, the marriage can never be stable. Never be stable.
Okay.
Let's say a 3-chord stand is hardly broken. A 3-chord stand. You, your husband, and God in the middle is hardly broken.
Okay.
A 3-chord stand. Maybe 2 you can break, but if there are 3, it's firm. To break it is difficult. So never forget your first love. Why am I saying that? There are women that are choristers in the church. When they sing, you feel the Holy Spirit around you. Do you understand? There are women who go to Sunday schools and teach the younger girls. But because they are so spiritual, they know so much about the Bible, they are so dedicated. They teach younger ones in Sunday school. They come early, they teach. The teachers, they are workers in the church. People know them. And when it came to marriage, they asked God for marriage. They got to a stage like, God, it's time for me to get married. They prayed, they fasted. And God came and asked them and said, okay, what do you want, my daughter? A man, children, I will give it to you. And God did, and He gave it to them. But what happened? Children came in. Excuse started. Oh, today I cannot go to choir practice now. I have children now. These children will not even allow me to rest. Really? But when you were asking God for these children, asking God for a husband, you didn't give excuse that these children will come in one day and they will not make you will not forget your first love. Women don't understand. You can never build a skyscraper and buy a pass my neighbor generator to power it. A woman needs prayer. Women are crying right now. They are emotionally drained and exhausted. One told me, look, I'm almost committing suicide. I said, no. If you commit suicide, that man will get married to your best friend. They will raise children. They will suffer your children. Do you understand? And the punishment might not be on them almost immediately. Yeah. But you are gone. So you don't die. You must build an emotional resilience. Take the challenge and fight for yourself. Do you understand? Okay. The woman told me they want to commit suicide for a man. Hey, you die, your best friend marries, your best friend will marry your husband. And they will have children. And the sentence will not be passed on them almost immediately. Do you understand? So don't think, oh, if you die, God will just... No, please. You have to grow that emotional resilience in yourself. Yeah. So we know that we cannot build a house without God. It's impossible. So when the children come in, that's why St. Paul made a statement. People felt St. Paul didn't get married for a reason. He didn't want to get married. St. Paul said, look, if you can hold yourself, if you can keep yourself, you don't have that sexual urge, to commit sin and go into immorality and everything, stay without getting married. He has a reason. Because he knows that when you get married, a lot of distractions will come. That first love, God was your first love. Jesus Christ was your first love. That zeal that you have initially will come down because a lot of distractions have come in. So he now made a statement like, if it is possible, if you can hold yourself, don't even get married. Because the kingdom of God is the ultimate. All this fight. Yesterday I was watching there's let's say a couple being buried. The first day being buried. Yeah. It was touching. Fine boy, no pimples. But right now, the worm, everything we hit it. There's nothing like fine boy anymore. It is gone and it's over. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the ultimate is where we are looking to. The purpose, our purpose on earth. That is what I am talking about right now. So when you neglect God, your first love, because children have come in, husband distractions have come in, and you leave God, my dear. For you to survive that marriage, to build that skyscrapers, you will need God. I see women cry a lot. The men are cheaters. They cheat on their wives. Okay. Every issue is, oh, my husband is cheating. Not with small girls, 1, 2, 3. These women are emotionally drained. And I look at them. Do you know your father? Do you know your source? If you know your source, that your source is not even from your biological parents, you have an extraordinary, a supernatural being who you came from. A woman. You are at risk because the more your husband goes out and sleep with all these women, they are bringing a darkness into your home and into your life. You can even die. I know of a woman who got AIDS through the husband. The husband didn't tell him that he has contacted it. Meanwhile, he's taking drug. And he didn't tell the woman. He slept with the woman. The woman got head. And everybody thought it was malaria. They treated the woman. Before it became a full-blown head, the woman died until the man confessed that he had head. So your life is even at stake. So what are you doing as a woman? I'm not telling you. That's why I don't teach women to fight the men. Okay. I teach them to win a marriage. How do you win a marriage? Go on your knees and pray. Who is your husband? Who is your husband? Women cannot change men. Men cannot change women. It's when they decide to change. But there's somebody upstairs that can immediately change them. Go on your knees and pray for them. Because your life is at risk. What are you doing? Do you know the source? Do you know who you are? It's a woman that builds a home. Proverbs 14 verse 1 said the wise woman builds a house. Why the foolish one will pluck it down? The power is in your hands. The remote control is in your hands. Go on your knees and pray like Hannah. I don't like people who pray and the roof of the house will be pulling off and all that. Pray like Anna. Anna was praying. Nobody could hear her voice. Elkanah the priest was there and said, "Are you mad? Are you speaking? Are you drunk?" And I said, "No." The reply was even calm and fair. "No, I'm not drunk. It is the pain in my heart that I have come to express." But they say, "He who calls for equity must come with the clean hands." So as a woman, if you give raiment to raiment, and you go back to God and ask God, "My husband is misbehaving. He's carrying women all up and down." But meanwhile, you give him hits and pressure in the house. You call God. God will not answer. Okay. So I have come in with a course. And this course is called the Marriage Restoration from Struggling to Striving. It is a 2-week course, intensive course for women that are in emotionally broken relationship. I want to tell the women that, look, you can work on yourself alone. I don't need your husband. I don't need your spouse. I will work on you because 80% of all these marital challenges you are seeing lies in the hands of the women. Why? Because the women are the ones who build home. Once they can get it right, the men are 20%. I want to teach you what is called emotional regulation, communication skills. Our parents never taught us that. They taught us love your husband, be chaste, be discreet. But they never taught us how to control our emotions when it's under pressure, how to speak, how to communicate. Some of us are just communicating based on how we saw our mother, the way our mother was speaking to our father, whether it was wrong or not right. Do you understand? So this 2-week course is just 50,000 naira. You enroll, you come in, I'll bring you 2 weeks. Even if you have been answering Deborah before, you are going to answer Esther. By the time you finish from this course, do you understand? So every woman needs that emotional resilience, Fight for your marriage. It's very important. You are the own builder. When you call God, He will answer. But you must ensure that your hands are clean. That's why I said you never forget your first love. Those things you were doing in the church before, children and husband should not deprive you. Because there are times you will need God. And God will not be there for you because you have also forsake Him. So it's very important we don't forget our first love. All so let's move.
So let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
All right.
It's one of the highest.
Okay.
Number 2 is...
I hope we can do it.
We can do it.
Okay.
We can do it.
Okay.
Why not? We can do it. Number 3. Infidelity.
Okay.
Infidelity. Never be tempted, physically or emotionally. I've heard women say, "If a man cheats, I will cheat." Okay. Like seriously? Hey, a man cheats, you will cheat. This is not to justify a man when a man cheats anyway. Do you understand? This is not to justify them. Because the punishment that is also going to be inflicted on the man is also inflicted on the woman. Okay. So this is not to justify them. But I want to let women understand one thing today as we speak. Look, women, there's one divinity around women. We are enclosed. Do you understand? Okay. We take, we don't give. We are not donors. We take. So by rights, by creation, we are not supposed to take more than one man because of our nation, the way we build. We receive. Right. When Eve was made, Eve was presented to Adam, not Adam presented to Eve. So you can see there's an implication there. So every woman hearing the sound of my voice, yes, men cheat and you think they go away with it. They don't go. They are judgment. They are going to face the judgment of God. Some at a dying bed, they begin to regret all their actions. You might not know the sentence of it's not passed almost immediately on them. But as a woman, if you dare it, spiritually, you die that day. The day you allow another man to cross you. This is very serious. This is the most serious. I told you, this is war. The day you allow another man to cross you. Spiritually, you are dead. You're just alive. You are dead. There's nothing you will do spiritually then. You are finished. That a woman. And I want to tell women that sometimes traditional marriage, everybody have their tradition. Yeah. Yes. In my place, I didn't know until I grew up to this stage, as a counselor, I was trying to understand tradition and, and how it works. In my place, if they get married to you as a wife, before they pronounce you the wife, traditional marriage, you have to sit on your husband's leg for 7 times. They will carry you 1. People will count. They will bring you up. 2, to the 7th time, and the old people will chorus. Rule 7 in my language. What does it mean? You are not supposed to sit on another man's leg. That husband is your husband for life. So you might not know the traditional implication of that thing they were doing, carrying you 7 times on the leg of your husband, bringing you, telling you, look, for life, this man is your own. So a man that does not know, men that like sleeping with married women, know that there are some implications, even in traditional marriage they've done that I wouldn't know. But my place, I'm telling you, that 7 times they carry you, it means something. It's significant. So if you don't know, you carry a married woman, because some men, they say, they like married women because they don't give them stress. They have their own home to protect too, so they are very careful. But so every married man hearing the sound of my voice who goes to married women, the day you do, you are dead. Spiritually, in fact, you are finished. There's something my father used to say. If all the sons are getting married, I was small, but I happened to hear, I can still remember what my father used to tell them. Yeah. He takes them to the room and say, come, let me advise you of 2 things. If you have to live long in the surface of this earth as a man, there are 2 things you should never do. And what are they? You will never steal. Okay. Don't take another man's property, and you will never cross another woman or another man's wife. Don't. If you do these 2 things, your life will be shortened. You will die early. But if you can avoid these 2 things, you will live long. So most of the men that are doing this thing, they don't even know the implication of what they are doing. Not to talk of the women themselves. I mean, it's appalling. How do you hear of a woman? That's a society, society frowns at it. Yes, frowns at it. And women are like, why is it that society is frowning at their own? What of the men that shits? The men also have their punishment. But I'm just telling you, biologically, the way you are created, by creation, the way you are made, you are enclosed. Do you understand? You are not supposed to receive more than 1 person. You are enclosed. So you must know the way you are created. And by right, it is not just, by the men. Let me tell you a story on the Bible. It's in 1 Corinthians or something like that. If a man takes a wife, and it is discovered on that day that the wife is no longer a virgin, that somebody has taken a token of this woman's virginity, what does it do? It goes to the elder of the land to complain that this woman I just got married to, I slept with her and I discovered that she's no longer a virgin. What will happen? If it is discovered that that woman is no longer a virgin, she will be taken to the front of her father's compound and stoned to death. Outright death. They will stone you to death in front of your father's house. You will die. But what happened? If it was discovered that the man was actually lying, that there's a proof to show that this man is actually the one that is virgin, the lady, that he was lying, the woman will carry the evidence, which is the bed sheet, take it to the father, and they will take it to the elders of the land. And if it is proven that the man was lying, what will they do to the man? They will tell him to pay some shekels of silver. And that's all. Wow. No, that's all. So, biblically itself, so women should know that this thing even didn't start today. So you know and keep yourself very well. You might not have cultural background or whatever, taboo or whatever, but then, spiritually, you are finished in the hands of God. You are like a loaf of bread. You are just living, but you are dead spiritually. Never. This is the most costliest mistake a woman will ever make, emotionally or physically. Now, many women are cheating on their husbands emotionally, and they feel, it's not physical. A man is cheating with, is flirting with you on phone, telling you certain things, intimate things, and you are there. You are encouraging the man. You are laughing. You are enjoying it. What did Jesus Christ say? Look, the main thought of it in your heart, even without the physical contact, you have already sinned. So to every woman hearing the sound of my voice, if you're married, if there is this man or this Hesses, because I know women who keeps their Hesses phone number in the phone. Okay. Why are you keeping it? What do you need your Hesses for crying aloud? It is over. You see, temptation is not far. It's not far. That's why the Bible says, flee. Do not walk. If you can disappear. Because it starts one day. Exchange your phone number. Hello, how are you? Are you good? Just like the one that happened between the musician, yes, the musician, and I'm sure it started okay because the woman is an interior decorator. Okay, please come to my house. I want some. Can you do something for me? And everything. It started by just exchange of phone numbers before you know it. That's why if a man is going to flirt with you, please do not wait. I was at home recently and somebody sent me a text message.
Yeah.
He's an elder. I know him very well. I know the children are my friend. He sent me a message. I'm like, Aries, you look like one white lady that I used to know. I like your personality, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk and everything. You are a wife material. Okay, fine. That's appreciation. And I said, we thank God, sir. Do you understand? Yeah. I said, we thank God for. Then all of a sudden, after 5 minutes, another text message come. I truly love you. I truly love you. I truly love you. I want to know your take on this. Like, seriously? Boom! I just forward the message to my husband. Because my husband knows him. He's a family. He's like, we know him. We know the children. The children are I mentor the children. So why will you bring yourself so low before me to do that? I said to my husband. My husband said, like, what? Are you serious? I said, yes, I'm very serious. My husband said, okay, keep quiet. You have another DJ, just keep quiet, don't worry. Let him continue to send message and implicate himself the more. What did I do? I just advertised something. Do you understand? But not all men can take that. So I also advise the women. You know your husband. My husband knows me. I can go to anywhere. He's not a runner, but he knows I am where I should be right now. I'm supposed to pick him up very soon after this program. He said, Harriet, once you're through your program, please pick me up in the airport. Do you understand? He knows where I am at this time. That's trust for you. You know. But there's some husbands, as soon as you forward that message to them and tell them, it becomes, yes, a victim. You cannot move again. Any small thing, you're talking to a man, hey, maybe.
It's funny. All right.
So you must know who your husband is. Do you understand? Before you take that move. But if you can fight emotionally, fight. Do not, if I don't entertain it, don't allow it to progress. Put an end to it immediately. Oh, you appreciated me the first time. I said, yes, fine, thank you. The second time, no, Oga, please, I'm a married woman. Give me that respect. I deserve the respect from you. If you don't stop, I will bring my husband into it. Once you tell a man like that, a man will go. So this is not something a woman should play with. Because you die spiritually before the eyes of God. Do not try it. Number 3.
All right. So number 4.
Number 4. Okay, let's move to number 4.
Yeah.
Never sleep out. No, that's not number 4. Okay, never neglect yourself. Yes.
Okay, never neglect
yourself. Right. That's my number 4. Yes. Never neglect yourself. You know, sometimes we, as women, you know, when we get married, especially when we're giving birth to a male child, somebody will tell you, you be landlady now. Do you understand? Because we Africans value male child, you know. So once we have that boy's first child as a boy, or maybe second as a boy, they say, you don't come, you are the landlady and every other thing, you become a landlady immediately. Do you understand? Yeah. So sometimes we neglect ourselves, we don't take care of ourselves anymore. Okay. You will see a woman this Saturday from morning to night. Yes, it's taxing. For all the things we need to do domestically, it's taxing. It's not easy. Even me, it's not easy. I tell you sometimes, you know, I'm overwhelmed. Do you understand? But never forget yourself. Because you are important. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't give what you don't have right now. You don't have. So make sure as a woman, even though it is not easy on us, but make sure physically, emotionally, you are okay. Take care of your physical appearance. They say men are visual beings. They are visual oriented. Sometimes you might feel, because this your bust is no longer standing, and the waist is no longer, you know, that hourglass shape. It's not longer howering. Do you understand? Because you are giving birth to children and all that. Sometimes these men are not actually looking at that because they know that you're giving birth to children. There's no way you can remember that same woman that they met how many years ago. They know.
Okay,
most of them know.
But there are some men that still make the snarky comment of, look at you, your days don't fall, your dad has gone. So what do you do in those situations?
No, in this situation, look. Because your head is also at stake. Yeah. Okay. Do you understand? It could be your nation. That you can do all the exercise, you are still who you are. Right. That's why I tell men, if you want to get married sometimes, go and look at the mother of your bride. That will be your wife that will be your wife in the future. So if you do not like what you see in the mother, then please go for the slimmer one. Because you cannot force a woman's child to go into dieting and she dies off, you marry another woman. No, you don't do that. Right. So as a woman, you have to build that emotional resilience. And that's what my course is going to teach you. Because you still have your life to live outside your marital life. Do you understand? You have to also live for your children, live for your husband. So your husband is prioritizing you, go and take this piece, you know, it's for your own health. But if it gets too much, it becomes something else. So that's where that emotional resilience comes in. Okay, I've had you, but then this is me. I cannot kill myself. Do you understand? So it comes in and you maintain your space. So physically, we must take care of ourselves. I know of women. There's a girl, she used to be my friend. We were growing up in university. She never takes a bath in the night. in the evening, she tells you, look, if you ask her, if you know we'll take your bath, you've not taken your bath. You say, I rub shit for body. So sometimes I'll just laugh. I'm like, I wonder how she does with her husband now, because something you didn't learn when you were growing up. So how do you manage? So women are dirty. Men have complained. You understand? Morning to night, you're tying wrapper on your chest. And like I said, men are visual beings. They are visual oriented. But women are carried away by words. It is words that influences us. But men is what they see. Do you understand? Yeah. You might be looking at it, and my husband now, what do you mean? I beg, make him come. Your husband is coming, I beg, leave him now, I beg. I'm not even taking my bath this morning, I've been busy. Do you know what I've been going through, passing through? Does this man know? He goes to work and come back, and what does he want? What? Let him come now. The house is dirty. You are dirty. You are smelling sweat, so morning to evening, you've not taken your bath on it. Saturday is even worse for them. Do you understand? Do you know your husband still sees you, still want to see? Because you are not the only, no, you are selfish. Because sometimes I tell these women you are selfish. Because you are not the only one alone in the house. Someone is also in the house that wants also to perceive good smell, want to be around a woman, that wears this beautiful nightwear, come to the bed and every other thing. So you do not neglect your physical appearance. Yeah. This is very important. Sometimes we complain, these are our men are going out with this. Sometimes this women that pushes these men to do whatever they do. But that's not an excuse for a man that knows God. A man who wants to remain in his divine purpose, that will not push you to go and sleep with another woman. You would rather work on your wife. Something you don't like. Bring your wife, bring the women to us. We will teach them what they need to know. Sometimes you might be teaching them. They might feel, you're just trying to disturb them. Okay. But when they hear from a counselor, another point of view, you see these women begin to change. I have so many women under my course right now. And I'm sure by the time they finish this course, their husband will not recognize them again. Because the way they communicate, the way they carry themselves and everything has changed. That peace they've been looking for. They think it was their husband that's actually denying them of the peace. No, it's not the husband. The where you are now and where you are planning to go, sometimes we think it's our husband. It is not our husband. It is skill gap, marriage skill gap, and it can be filled when they give you the right, things you can use almost immediately in your home, and you see the atmosphere of your home transforming, changing. Right. So appearance is very, very important. Don't neglect your appearance.
And the last one, because the phone lines have been buzzing.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! So let me see. What's the fifth one? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Never allow too many voices into your home.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
No third parties.
Yes, no. Never allow too many voices. Sometimes, we have friends, we have this group of friends, then we now get married. You understand? You're not going to discard your friend almost immediately because you're married. You understand? Yeah. But my advice to every woman who have this group of friends, know that not everybody must have access into your marital issues, your marital lives. Yes, they're your friends. But there are certain places you have to set boundaries. Because now level don't change, and that's the truth. Level don't change. There are places you go to with your friends before normally. Do you understand? Yeah. But because you're married, you cannot go to that places anymore. Even when they call you, you will give an excuse. My friend, look, I have something to do. I've not prepared food for my husband. I've not done this. So by the time you give excuse 2 or 3 times, they will understand that level have changed. They will leave you. But when you entertain it, allow them to come to your house. I know of someone that, look, she has about 15. They were all together 15, even after marriage. You see, once in a while, the husband is coming from work. 15 women are in the house, giggling, shouting, drinking to stupor. Women. This man spoke and spoke until he finally died. Yes, women. Now, those women, almost all of them are widows as we speak. These 15 women, I know them very well. Do you understand? Group of friends, because they can influence you. So, as a married woman, be very careful, especially when you begin to discuss your intimacy, intimacy challenges with your friends. Your friends can capitalize on it, and they will take your husband from you. There's one place my husband works. I know of a lady. He took the friend's husband. Yes, to today, as we speak, she had 3 kids. Do you understand? So sometimes judgment is not passed almost immediately, but you have made a mistake by opening your mouth. Those intimate things that are very intimate between you and your husband. You will sit your friends down and you begin to discuss it. What is wrong? How are you raised, for crying aloud? So these things are very important. If you are married, limit the numbers of friends that have access to your marital affairs, your marital issues. So I think that's the last point for today. Let's see how it goes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have posts running on Facebook concerning this conversation. You can go there and leave your thoughts and your comments there. I'll check. And for others, if you'd like to call, here are the before I even started talking, 0810-9510-951. Text messages 0701 9339962 0701 9339962. All right, 95.1. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning once again. I remain the senior president from Last from Abuja.
All right.
Good morning to you, London.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, God bless you.
Amen.
I missed your program for a long time. But, when I wanted to go to a wedding service, as it started, I'm happy I did not miss the program. You have done good justice to this matter. So I've listened to you for over 5 years now. So I thank God you are bringing Christianity the way you are going now. God bless you.
Amen.
But I have two questions before I drop.
All right.
Important question. I wanted to know, because I listened to some children yesterday. I wanted to know whether it's possible for a married man, a man that talks for his wife, for you to be called rapist or you rape your wife. Because I've never seen any matter in the court they said a married man raped his wife. Two, is it okay for a woman to deny a husband sex as long as it's not have any health challenges? Is this supposed to be so? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's see if we can get as much calls as we can, and then the question will be answered. 0810-9510-951, 0810-9510-951 for text messages, WhatsApp messages, and voice notes. 0701-9339-962, 0701-9339-962. All right, okay. On WhatsApp, we'll get to your messages just a second. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robin Majadi.
All right, welcome to the show.
From the chair. Greetings to you, madam. Our guest.
Good evening. Good morning, sir.
And it is done. Good morning once more again.
Good morning to you.
You see, our guest, please don't stop talking to our women.
Okay, thank you.
Believing that they will hear. You see that narration?
Yeah.
Most married women like to listen to their friends other than their husband, without understanding that in some cases, those things they hear from those their friends are all fake. A way to destroy their home. So that the family can engage, they will find their way in. Look at the example our guest is giving there. Before I leave the floor, for those who care to listen, Lady Dawn wrote a song some years back, got it recorded, performed, based on this story we are talking now. And what is the title? I Will Love You Till the River Runs Dry. Every now and then they see me here and there. Ask them what they were saying to me. Don't tell them they see me here and there. All they want to do is to succeed to split us apart. But because I love you, no way, I'll still love you. It's a song. Women should listen and learn. God bless you, our grace.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling.
Amen.
95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning, and good morning to everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
My name is Ekine, calling from Ekine.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not married though, but I'm actually learning a lot. But as two topics she explained, which one I 100% disagree, and the other I 50% agree. The one I 100% disagree is having a number, your ex's phone number. First of all, I would say as a human being, as a married person, male or female, you should know your friends and you should know your ex, how mature your ex is. I'm a person who today, I have like 4 of my exes who are married and we are still friends. I know my boundaries, but that's because I am matured enough to know that they are married. So if our guest is saying that it is a no-no to have your ex's phone number. To me, I have lost a friend, not just an ex, because she is married doesn't stop her from being my friend. But if I'm the fool, sorry to use that word, to not know my boundary that my ex-girlfriend is now married, then she has every right to take off my contact. That's as you know your friends and know how matured your ex is.
All right.
She also mentioned not having a lot of voices in your own, which is, that's why I said I 50% agree. There's a friend of mine today who I've never seen real life. We only talk on phone and video call. We met through Facebook, and when we were talking, I later on asked for her contact. She said no. I laughed and she asked me why. No, I asked her why. She said because she is married. I then I said, your marriage doesn't stop us from being friends. But thank you for telling me you're married. But you will still get me your contact, and you will find out that I will be your friend, not coming to do the other thing. And till today, for I think 6 years now, we've been friends, a very good friends, and I know my boundaries.
All right.
I also know what I've succeeded from she being my friend. Connections she has given me. If she wasn't my friend, I would have been able to get those contacts.
All right.
Was my friend, and I was matured enough to know my boundaries.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Okay, that's because you are matured enough.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Even Jesus Christ himself averted some things. You know, Satan was coming and he said, no, this man is coming home. He knows.
All right. Next 5.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cuba.
All right, welcome.
I'm morning the presenter. My point is on the top number 1 point.
Okay, never really.
In marriage, yeah.
All right.
Marriage is whereby either the husband or the wife will be pressurizing the spouse to grow. Why the spouse will be on the ground that you are stressing me, I don't want to go beyond this level. And when such family is facing such a challenge, what do we do? The spouse, for example, the husband will say, I want to come back forward your education. Say, no, my brain has blocked because of my children. Taking care of my children, this and that, and my brain can't go further. And the man is working harder. Instead of the woman to please the wife to do, she will be throwing words of discouragement, emotionally killing the vision of the husband. In such marriage, what do we do to convince the spouse that it is for her good?
All right. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Let's see. Do we have any more calls? If we don't, all right. Two questions. One about rape, and then this one, the wife refusing to change.
Okay, then. So, no, sex should be something intentional. Both parties coming together and agreeing to do the act. So,
okay.
Yes. So, if your wife is actually not willing at that time, because sometimes it depends on the condition that the woman is. You might be wanting, and the woman might not be willing. You know, so but if you force her and when you go into her, you've raped her. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, because supposed to be two concepts.
Yes. Or your husband.
Can rape the wife. Yes, okay. But then, so the next they say, look, a woman who refuses her husband of sex. One thing I want women to know and men to also understand, you know, a woman that doesn't just wake up, and I'm not justifying anything for the woman anyway, but I know women that just wake up and they deny you sex from the very onset of the relationship. Okay. You understand? They were allowing you and things were going on smoothly. What men will also understand that women are emotional beings. Do you understand? You know their emotions. Before you get a woman, that's why you see it's difficult for women to cheat. That's why I'm surprised that women are really going out there. If the men cheat, I will cheat, because you cannot cheat with a woman easily. Okay. Because you have to be emotionally connected to a woman. A woman must feel you to open up for you to go to that level. You must have said something that triggers that thing. You know, you must have been with her for some time, hitting her with words, being with her, buying things with her, and every other thing. You know, you cannot just see a woman today and she sleeps with you. No. She's not an Olosho, for crying out loud. Do you understand? So that emotional connection must be established for a woman to open up to you. So some men, what they fail to understand that women, sex is not physical to a woman. No, it is physical to a man. That's why a man can carry an Olosho, carry a prostitute and sleep with. They don't have any emotional attachment with you, but they just want to satisfy their urge at that minute and they've gone. But a woman is not like that. Do you understand? You cannot just see a woman likes this man, and you just a woman opens up for you. It's not a prostitute or whatever. No, there must be an emotional connection. So as a man, sometimes if a woman refuses you of sex, it is possible in the morning. There's something you did to that woman. You said one word to that woman that affected. Yes, you've been doing, and she's emotionally battered as we speak right now. She is drained, and in the night you tap the same woman that you want to have sex with. The same woman. What do you think? The woman is not willing, even when the spirit is trying to push, but the flesh is weak because you have drained her already with those words that you use. You don't take care of her. You don't need. That is not a yardstick for a woman to refuse a man. But I'm just telling the men sometimes what could cause it. Why women will begin to withdraw. A woman that used to give it to you like that before, anytime you need it, something must be wrong. There's always a solution. I believe in a solution mindset. There's a problem in the home. How do we solve it? My wife, what happened? Why are you refusing me sex all of a sudden? But to the women, some women use this as a weapon. That's where I'm coming from right now. I've just spoken to the men. I've said, look, your wives can refuse you sometimes. When you don't take care of them, when you give them some words in the morning, that's not really welcoming. You understand? They're emotional beings, and it's their emotions that control their actions. But now I'm teaching women, in my course, I'm teaching women, no, don't allow your emotions control your actions. Your actions must control your value. What are you going to benefit out of that? Not your emotions, how you feel, how you think is how you act. Do you understand? So women who uses it, that's where the problem is. Women who uses it as a weapon, as against their husband, because you have done this, I will not give it to you. They forgot that St. Paul said in the 1 Corinthians 7 that, look, on no account should you deny yourself of sex. The only reason why you can deny yourself is when both of you have agreed, come into as a concept that, look, we want to pray this period, so let's abstain from this thing. It will be between two of you, an agreement between your husband and wife. So these women who use this as a weapon, they don't know what they are doing biblically. They are sinning against God, because St. Paul said, don't deny yourself of it. Do you understand? Because if you do you know what St. Paul even said? Look, if you have to make an agreement, okay, we want to pray, don't do it too long. Because even if you do it too long, Satan can now come in through that avenue to tempt both of you. Do you understand? So it's very important, every woman hearing the sound of my voice, do not weaponize sex. You are sinning against your creator if you do that.
Okay, let's get to the messages. We have, Simply Goodness from Malacca here. Good morning to the resource person in the studio. Everything she has said is nothing but the truth. Unfortunately, most girls of this generation are more concerned about going